We have a wonderful coconut cloud cake here. And not only is it coated with 7-minute frosting and lots of big flakes of fresh coconut, but it's also filled with the same mix. We've sifted 1 cup of cake flour. I'm gonna sift this first and remeasure just to make sure that I have a cup. This is a very fine sieve, and I decided for angel food cake I would only use a very fine. Yeah, that's a nice cup of cake flour. That goes in here. Okay, into here, 3/4 of a cup of superfine sugar. It can also be called caster sugar. This is 1/2 cup and 1/4 of a cup. And make sure you sift that. And we're going to sift this mixture 4 times. Now we need 1 3/4 cups of egg whites. And that's basically 14 eggs at room temperature. Start beating on low and add 1 tablespoon of warm water. This kind of helps break up the albumin a little bit, which is the protein found in egg whites. As soon as this gets foamy, we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 1/2 teaspoons of cream of tartar. This will help keep the mixture dry, the cream of tartar. And you're going to add 2 teaspoons of good vanilla extract. And when I say good, I mean pure. And you can see the volume is getting up there. This will be a very, very high white egg white mixture. And then start adding the remaining sugar, the 3/4 of a cup. Your 1/2, just a spoon at a time. Let it beat in. And you want to keep beating the whites until they are glossy, shiny, and certainly not dry. This is a very, very easy cake to make. And what's nice about it is that it really doesn't have any cholesterol. No yolks. So see how nice this looks? Really good. You must have a 10-inch tube pan. This is what a tube pan looks like. And I prefer the spun aluminum. And you can tell it's spun. You can see the marks in it here. Those little tiny, almost imperceptible marks in the pan help the angel food cake to rise up the sides. And you do not butter this. You're going to put it into a dry, untreated pan. And I think we're okay here. They are so beautiful. And I'm going to transfer the egg whites to a large bowl. It'll make folding in easier. I don't remember my mom ever transferring out of her stand mixer. She loved that machine. I still have the original down in my basement. When we got that machine, things changed. It was pretty exhausting whipping up meringues and whipping up angel food cakes by hand. So there is that. Now you're going to sprinkle your dry ingredients right over the top in 6 additions. Little bit, hold, and you go to the bottom and around, turning your bowl, trying to incorporate all those dry ingredients in as short a time as possible. So you see it's very easy, and look how white it is. And so with very little muss and very little fuss, we've made the batter for the angel food cake. And you're going to get this now into the cake pan. I like this one because it has these little feet so that when you invert it, it can sit to cool on those little feet. Gently plop the cake into your pan. Try to not get any air bubbles in your cake. There. Now, using your spatula, gently press, going all the way around. Scrape off your excess. Oh, and you can use the point of a sharp knife to cut through the batter just to make sure there are no air bubbles. That should prevent the problem. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and this goes into the oven for 35 to 40 minutes. Absolutely gorgeous. Put it on a tray. And now this is very important. You must invert the angel food cake pan so that it stands up off the counter. This has little feet, so I don't need to put it on the bottle. But in the olden days when it didn't have feet, we would invert this right onto a bottle like this and let it just cool. Isn't that great? Don't fall. It won't fall either because it's stuck to the edges of that aluminum pan. Has to stay like this for at least 1 hour. And then I'll show you how to extricate the cake from the pan. Here we have the 3 egg whites already in the bowl. And we need 1 1/4 cups of sugar. And you're going to heat this before you beat it. 5 tablespoons of cold water. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1/4 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar. Now use a whisk, stir this up, and heat it up over simmering water until it starts to really get some volume and the sugar dissolves. So this is light, it is fluffy, all the sugar is dissolved, and it is hot. And now you beat this with your electric mixer for guess how long? 7 minutes. I've made this frosting so many times. It is one of my favorites. And today, we're not just putting 7-minute frosting on the angel food cake. We are actually encrusting the 7 minutes with freshly grated coconut. And now I'll show you how to prepare the cake. Off the bottle, cake looks very good. You take a sharp spatula and go all the way around the outside of your cake. And using a very gentle up and down motion. And now this should release. Oh, it does. Isn't that beautiful? And release the cake right onto the center. Really pretty. Now use a super slicer or some sort of serrated knife to take off the top inch of your cake. Kind of room temperature, this will work. That's nice. Just lift this off. And we want to cut a little channel in here. We're going to get rid of some of the cake just so that we can fill it with that 7-minute frosting, which is looking very good. So cut just a little channel here, about 1 inch deep and 1 inch wide. Just take this out with your fingers. This gives you the opportunity to test your angel food cake. Now the icing is done. Let's check it. Oh, it's very stiff and very beautiful. So now add a little bit of this to the channel in your cake. Boy, does that look good. So you see, 7-minute frosting isn't hard. Spread this filling around. Spread some coconut on this. Oh, this coconut is so good. So here we have the cake, goes right back on. And continue making your cloud. Take it down the sides. And this cake is going to be eaten today. The 7-minute frosting doesn't hold up overnight. It's pretty just like this, but indeed, to make it into that coconut cloud, you have to add the coconut. Sprinkle the coconut all over. Sort of can pat it into the sides. And you'll need anywhere between 3 and 4 cups of coconut. There you have it. Coconut cloud angel food cake. Spectacular and good. You can serve your cake with berries and cream, or coconut and cream, or syrup and cream, or ice cream and hot fudge. Whatever way you serve, everyone will be delighted, and you will be an angel food hero.